would like to talk to you about is content marketing. But what we're talking about specifically is content marketing for attracting high value clients. So we're not talking about relying on word of mouth. We're not talking about doing TikToks and 30-second reels that don't build a relationship. What we're talking about is how to actually create a bond with your ideal client so that they get to know, like, and trust you before they buy from you. Around 70% of the sale is now made before somebody reaches out and buys from you. Okay. And the reason why 70% of that sale is made is because people like to now do their own research. Many years ago, it was very difficult for us to do our own research and decide whether something was good or bad for us. And the reason why is because we couldn't Google something because Google didn't exist. So we had to rely on what we saw in magazines, what we read in newspapers, and discussions with our friends down the pub. However, as you know, the world has changed. People are now able to go onto ChatGPT and find out more about a product or a service that they want to buy. If they're buying a washing machine, they can decide which washing machine they want to buy. They don't have to rely on the person in the store to give them advice and all the details about the washing machines. So we have to understand that if people are going to make a decision before they actually reach out to have a conversation with us, we need to give those people everything that they need to enable them to make that decision, which is why today I am talking about how to do content marketing that attracts those high value clients and so they become pre-sold. So I had a lovely conversation with a gentleman yesterday. His name's Colin, and he said to me, I'm 95% there. I just need to have a conversation with you. And the reason why he was 95% aware of my program and that he wanted to buy from me was because he'd already done that research and he knew what I did, how I help people, case studies, all that kind of thing. All right. So I'm going to be sharing with you how to do this today so that you can attract those clients that pay you 2, 3, 4, 5,000 or more a month for your services, and they don't feel icky about it. They actually feel really excited about it. Okay, so let's dive on in. How to do content marketing that attracts high value clients. Okay, we use content not to get attention, because if we want to do attention content, that's where we do the gimmicky Instagram and TikToks. Okay, we're actually using content to earn trust so that people want to buy from us and they get to be in a situation where when you get on a sales conversation with them, because we do have to have a sales conversation, when we get on that sales conversation, you can dress it up, you can call it a strategy session, you can call it a discovery session if you want to, but whatever it is, it's literally you saying, do you want to buy my stuff? And we want the people on those calls to have gone through a process and trusted us before they get on that call. You see, most accountants and advisors really struggle with marketing. And the reason why is because it feels like this thing that is way outside of their remit. They want to be accountants, they want to be technicians, they want to actually do the work. But the thing is you need to spend as much time marketing to get the high value clients as you do doing the work. So what we are able to do is teach you how to use content marketing so you'll attract better clients without having to chase them and without having to be questioned on price, without having to discount, without having to do the fastest race to the bottom. And that's why content marketing is so important. So what we want to do is actually approach content marketing with a strategic approach. Okay, so it's about creating valuable, relevant, and consistent content. So if you think about the content I create books and podcasts and webinars. All of that is about making sure I'm consistent and relevant and building a relationship with you guys. As you watch this video, you're getting to know, like, and trust me. Or, as the case may be, you might not know, like, and trust me. You might go, actually, Amanda and the Business Advisor Academy isn't for me. And that's absolutely fine, because your content should qualify people in and out. But the key thing is content does attract, and it enables you to retain your current clients as well, because if they see that you're constantly visible online, they're able to touch base with you every single day without you having to be the advisor and have a conversation with them every single day. And one of the reasons why I do long form content like I do, like my books, like my podcast, and like this video, the reason why is because I actually do it for my clients to build a relationship further and deeper with my clients before they buy from me and after they buy from me, which is why my content has to be so valuable. And this is what I really want you to get your head around, because if your content is valuable enough that it can be paid for, then it will get you those high value clients that you need. If you're doing content that nobody would pay you for, then the content is just going to be overwhelming for people watching it, and they're just going to ignore it, and you're going to just blend in with that white noise, okay? The other thing as well that I said is your content filters out the tire kickers and what I call vampire clients, the clients that suck the life out of you. It actually attracts the people who value your advice. So over the past year, over the past 10 years, and actually over the past 15 years, but over the past 10 years, it's helped me generate over 5 million in revenue. It means that I can hire a very small but mighty team. So when we move into business advisory, we don't necessarily want to build a huge business with a huge team. We want to have great revenue, we want to have great profits, but we want to actually create something lean and mean. Now, that means that the people that you hire have to be even better than if you were to have a huge team. And the reason why is because you're reliant on them, okay? You've got maybe you've got a VA or a PA, maybe you've got an operations person, maybe you've got a marketing person. You need the best of the best. And your content marketing enables you to be the kind of person that someone reaches out and says, oh, hey, I've seen your marketing. Have you got a job going? Okay. Or if you advertise a job, they clamor to actually go, yes, please, I want to work with you, because you've built a relationship with your team prospects as well. You get to build a strong personal brand. And the key thing that has helped me build this personal brand is I have then become a key player in the accounting profession. And then that means that I have joint venture opportunities, which gets me in front of even more of my ideal clients, which then means that I have the opportunity to sell to those people. So it builds my audience. And this is why content marketing is so important. So just to give you a reason why I can actually talk about this, I have done over 800 live videos. So I go live very regularly. This is a live, but you might be watching it as a recording. And I have done 800 videos, and it has enabled me to attract my ideal clients to me. I've written over 1,000 blog articles. I've done and held over 1,000 webinars. Most people, if they do webinars, do them once a quarter, couple of times a year. I actually have done over the past 10 years over 1,000 webinars, sometimes doing a couple a week, sometimes doing one a week. Okay. I've written 4 best-selling books. I do a weekly podcast, and I'm currently writing my 5th book, which will be out next year. Now, this gives me the credibility to teach you about content marketing, because I have relied solely on content marketing to drive my business. Now, what I will say is we are now investing and learning how to do Facebook marketing in a very good way, and that's paid marketing. But I would say that the 5 million that I've made has been from organic content marketing and building relationships with people. There is a common misconception, but Amanda, you're a marketer, of course it's easy for you. But it's not about doing marketing, it's about showing up with service. And what I'm doing today is I'm not showing up here going, hey, I'm going to market to you. It's, hey, I've got something to teach you and I've got something to share and I want to be of service. And if the right people watch this, they might say, hey, Amanda, I want some more support. But at the end of the day, I'm not showing up as a marketer. I'm showing up as someone who is giving you business advice for free, right? When you focus on helping people instead of trying to use marketing to get clients, your content actually becomes magnetic and people want to watch it and they want to get very involved in your content marketing before they even buy from you. I have people who listen to every single podcast episode. I have people who have made a lot of money just from my content marketing and they've never paid me a penny. And they give me great reviews. They say, I've been following Amanda for a long time. I've got great results. I've moved into business advisory. If your content can do that, that makes you magnetic. Now, some of you might go, yeah, but if you give it all away for free, then they'll never pay you. No. What I want to say is your content marketing is there to build trust, and the right people will need help with implementation. Information is available out there and you can Google anything that you want to know. What I would say is that people need the support and the arm around them and the business advice and accountability, and that's what they pay for. So they don't pay for the content, they pay for the accountability and support and the ability to then hit their goals, okay? So don't be scared of content marketing, please. You can just give it all away. It will get you those clients. Great examples. Christina built a 20,000 subscriber base and runs weekly webinars and attracts advisory clients that pay her $2 and $3 grand a month. Jessica posts reels every day. That gets attention. She has a weekly podcast and has made over $1 million leveraging content marketing for her niche audience. So she's not a generalist, she has a niche audience. So the mindset shift that I would like you to have as we're talking today is going from doing stuff to get clients to doing stuff that serves prospects. So every time I do one of these videos, I'm not here to go, hey, buy from me. I'm here to say, I am here to serve you. I am here to help you. And I'm going to give my knowledge away for free. The byproduct of giving your knowledge away for free is that you get clients. It generates demand. It's phenomenal and works exceptionally well. So there is a trend right now, and that is personalized niche content. All right. You can't just show up. You could 5 years ago, you could show up and you could say, hey, I want to talk about this thing, and that would attract clients. But now we have to speak to our ideal client with really good content. We can't just show up and hope that someone is magnetized towards us. It has to be specific. We have to speak to that someone. So niche content looks like this, for example. Startups who are managing their finances in early stages, okay? So you don't just work with startups, you work with startups who are managing finances in early stages. You've got established firms and you help them with funding for international expansion, and that's the things that you talk about. So you have to narrow your focus the higher your authority. So for me, I talk about becoming a business advisor and leveraging your knowledge and your expertise, okay? We have to avoid technical content though when we are creating content. And the reason why is because your ideal clients don't actually understand the technical jargon and they don't want to understand the technical jargon. It can be very easy for you to talk about tax codes, and it can be very easy for you to talk about the latest things that are happening, like making tax digital, okay? Yes, you need to talk about it because you need to say this is something that you need to do, but don't go so deep to explain the why behind it, because clients just aren't interested. What they want is someone who's going to help and guide them through it. They're looking for a guide. They're not looking for someone who's going to teach them how to be an accountant or bookkeeper. Although if you're working with startups, then that can be really handy, and you can create some kind of advisory package for startups to teach them how they can do it themselves without having to invest heavily in getting an accountant or a bookkeeper if you wanted to, all right? So instead, what I want you posting are things like financial strategies, growth insights, practical tips, and inspirational stories, because people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. And if you can share inspirational stories, they will lean in and they'll be like, tell me more about that. I want to hear about that. And when they hear about it, they start to see themselves in those stories and they start to believe that they can become a client of yours. So when you're creating content, make sure that you weave in stories of people that you've worked with or people who are doing the things that you help them with, so that they can, your ideal client can then lean in and go, do you know what? I want to be that person. How can you help me? All right. So your goal is to become a resource. And what I mean by that is people need to binge watch your content. So I talk a lot about creating content that's a Netflix series. So you want them to go from one video to the next video, to the next video, to the next video, to the next video. You don't want them to see a piece of content and then have to wait a week to see something else. We want them to binge on you. Now, Google said that you need to have at least 7 hours of binge-worthy content. If you do research now, that's actually up to about 15 hours. 7 hours was maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago. Now people need to consume about 15 hours of your content to get to know, like, and trust you and be able to make an educated decision that they're going to buy from you. That's a really scary amount of content, because that means that you have to sit down and create 15 hours of content, which means you really need to uncover your expertise. You can't just show up as the technician, because that's not 15 hours of content. So you need to understand what it is that you do, how you help people, your clients' pains, their fears, their frustrations. You actually need to get the foundations in place before you do your content marketing. And that's the big shift, because so long ago you could just show up and talk stuff, and after a couple of videos someone would go, ooh, I want to buy from you. Now it has to be well thought out, in alignment content with your offer, and you have to be able to create about 15 hours of it. Okay, and they have to be able to binge watch it like a Netflix series, which is why I do my podcast, right? And it's why I have my YouTube channel, and it's why I have my LinkedIn. That's where you find my content. Multimedia is winning, video, podcast, webinar. So I do a webinar almost weekly. Sometimes it can be every week, sometimes it can be twice a week, sometimes it might be once a month. The thing about webinars, which I particularly like, is taking complex topics and making them simple and building a deeper connection with the people. So it's a live interaction when you hold a webinar. Don't do pre-recorded webinars, do live webinars so you can build a relationship. And that really helps with the relationship building, to then get someone to book a call and they feel like they already know you and they have a connection with you because they've spoken through the webinar with you. So I would say that webinars are a really good thing. And we lead with thought leadership. So we talk about selling your advice, but selling your advice starts by giving your best thinking away. So we have to think about articles, white papers, books, really good quality content. Now, if you don't do this, you are going to compete on price. You're going to struggle to get clients. Every time someone is recommended a business advisor, the first thing they're going to do is Google you. And if you do not show up on Google, you're going to struggle to get that client. So there's 3 phases of content marketing. The first is that you create blogs, videos, podcasts, and webinars. Then we have to distribute it. And then we have to use it to convert and build trust and generate sales. So we don't create content and then go, oh, hopefully someone will buy. We have to create the content. We have to distribute it through posting, through emails, through sharing the content. And then we build that trust and generate sales off the back of it. So I read a book about 10 years ago, I think it was. And it was called They Ask, You Answer by Marcus Sheridan. And it's the book that I always wish I had written. So I read this book and I was like, darn, I wanted to write that book. But it was such a good book that I recommend it to every single person who is open to embracing content marketing. And I highly, highly recommend it. So They Ask, You Answer by Marcus Sheridan. And it is the best book on content marketing that I have ever read, and a really good place for you to go and get some more knowledge around this. But I 100% would say that this is a great book for you to read. The core question that comes from that book is, what questions are your clients asking? So have a listen to your current clients at the moment. What questions are they asking? And then answer those questions publicly. So this goes back to the beginning of this video that I was saying to you about how I create content for my clients and answer their questions in my content marketing. And then I just happen to get other clients or other prospects come to me because I'm also answering their questions, and I answer them publicly. And this is how I keep my clients for a long time, and I build my pipeline of potential clients. It works really well because traditional advertising interrupts people, but content marketing now adds value. And that value add is what they see before they reach out to buy from you, because they already trust you. So I highly recommend you doing this, because consistency equals trust. You need to show up often. You need to keep your tone and delivery consistent. So the way that I show up, I am the same every single time. The way I do my podcasts, do my webinars, I do my videos with you guys, I'm the same person showing up. I don't shake it up. I wear the same clothes. I have the same hair. I have the same voice. I have the same tone. I interact with you like I do with my clients, and it's how I become memorable. And again, I was speaking to another lovely lady yesterday. She actually came and booked a call with me, and she said, I have been recommended to you by many people, which I thought was great. And the reason why is because they had seen me show up consistently for the past 10 years in the profession, and they're like, hey, if you need help with business advisory, you need to speak to Amanda C. Watts at the Business Advisor Academy. So she's binged my content, she's come to me through referral, and then that conversation is like, she totally trusts me to help her. It's lovely, it's great, it works a treat. So who are you writing content for? Who are you recording videos for? Who are you recording your podcast for? Who are you writing your book for? What keeps those people up awake at night? 3 o'clock in the morning, they wake up with like panic in their head. What is the thing that's keeping them awake? And what do they secretly wish that someone would help them fix? And what we have is a gap. So where they are now, where they want to go, and then the bit that's keeping them awake at night, that is your methodology. That's where you're going to create your signature methodology, and your job is to fill that gap. Now, what I would say is your methodology also becomes your marketing, and then they come to you and pay for help with implementation. So you don't have to do the work for them, but you have to support them and guide them and help them with implementation. So your content should guide people towards downloading a guide, signing up for your newsletter, attending a webinar. This piece of content guides you to another video that explains my offer, step by step, how I help people and how I could help you. So if you have a look above or below here, you will see a link that says, find out more about how I can help you. You go and watch that. That is where my content guides you to. And then from that, you can decide whether or not you want my help, but it gives an outline of my offer and how I help you. So there's 3 kinds of archetypes. You've got the serial freebie hunters, you've got potential clients and goldmine clients. Focus your content on groups 2 and 3. So potential clients and goldmine clients. And goldmine clients are the ones that have been following you for a long time and they're now ready to make a move. So if you've been following me for a long time and you're like, hey, I just need a sign to know if now is the time to work with Amanda, I would say, yes, now is the time to work with Amanda, but let's have a conversation and find out. So potential clients are new people in your world. Goldmine clients are the ones that you can that's been following you for a long time, and then you get them to shift and you get them to move into buying from you. It's about quality over quantity. So remember, there's a lot of noise online. This is why I'm not a fan of short form content, because short form content is all about quantity and has no quality in it whatsoever. What can you actually achieve in a 30-second reel? How can you help someone? How can you be of service to someone in a 30-second reel? You need to create long form content that is full of quality. And if you do that once a week, that's better than showing up in a reel every single day and just making more noise. So the payoff of this is, over time, great content builds brand recognition, trust, and a pipeline of ready to buy clients. I want you to create valuable free content, okay? You have to do this if you want clients that are gonna pay you 2, 3, 4, 5, 6K a month on recurring every single month. If you want to retain those clients, if you want to attract those clients, you need to do the content marketing. So as I said, today's video has all been about how you do content to get those high value clients. If you would like to find out how I help you at the Business Advisor Academy, then click to the link above or below this video with details of our offer. So have a click on that, watch that. The video is about 20 minutes long, so make sure you've got time. Have a click on it. There's no sign in, you just can go and have a look. There's no sign in for it. And if you've got any questions, then reach out to me on LinkedIn. And feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn if you aren't connected already. If you have enjoyed this video, please can you like, please can you comment, please can you share it with your friends. I do want to get my content out to more people purely because I want to be of more service. And remember, my content is created to have the value of paid content. So please do take action on this, because you haven't paid for this content, but you have paid attention if you've made it this far. So please do go and take action. So as I said, please go also and have a look at the video. If you have enjoyed this video, please like and comment on it, and I will catch up with you in the next video. Have a great day.